our thoughts really transform our health? Let's explore. I have Genevieve Shena, a health coach, with me today, and we would love to explore this topic, leaping into quantum health. Hi, Jen. How are you doing? Welcome.
Hi, I'm doing amazing, thank you. And you?
I'm great. I'm so happy to have you here.
Oh yeah, that's exciting. That's a really interesting topic, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. What can you share with us about it? What are we
Yeah,
gonna
well,
talk about?
let's say in my journey of healing, I got diagnosed with two immune disease that include chronic pain and stuff, and going through that, I never accept the fact that I was supposed to be like that and my body was attacking itself, and I had to accept that I will have pain all my life. I never accepted, actually. So I fight for more than 12 years around finding the good food and the good exercise and stretching and whatever, breathing, and suddenly I came across a work of people like Joe Dispenza, and people that they are really known in that circle, and they were literally that we can heal with our thoughts. And each time I was going in my circle talking about that, people were like, oh yeah, you think you can heal with your mind? I was like, actually yes, but it's kind of really hard to explain to people, because it was not really backed by science until well, if you go back in time, actually there's people who were talking about that in 1940 or something, and even what we will talk about sometime go back to 1800, but it's not like the big science in traditional medicine to think about meditation and thoughts for healing. So yeah, it's nice that now there's more science behind it, and we can begin to explain in a very simple way, actually. That's what I will try to to do with you, I think.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's a fascinating topic. And yeah, I love the word quantum. So let's just start a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
Let me share with you what I know about it or what I understand. So basically quantum physics, as you would say, has opened up new frontiers, in our understanding of the universe, challenging our conventional views of reality, including actually the concepts of time, space, and the interconnectedness of all things. So
Yeah, and I would add also reality itself,
exactly, yes, reality
because you
itself.
talk about time and space, and for us, there's a limit. Time go that fast and the space is that. But when you think in a quantum way, it's open, unlimitless, possibility. Yeah.
So many
Sorry.
infinite possibilities, as I like to call it.
Yeah.
That's great. So yeah, exactly. And at the heart of quantum mechanics is the idea that particles, like electrons, can exist in multiple states simultaneously. And this is known as a superposition. So for example, an electron can exist in a state of both spinning clockwise and counterclockwise at the same time until it is measured and it collapses into one of these states. So this actually suggests that the future is not predetermined, but is influenced by the choices we make in the present. So in terms of health, this tells us that our actions and intentions in the present moment can influence our future health
And I
outcomes.
will add more that it's kind of your topic, emotion, of course,
Of course.
intention and the thoughts and how you put this into motion too. Yeah,
Of course, we'll talk a
exactly.
little bit about emotions a little bit later, but definitely. So in a nutshell, by making conscious choices using our thoughts that support our well-being, we can potentially shift the trajectory of our health in a positive direction. So yeah, what do you think about this?
Yeah, well, actually, I will back what you just said with talking about quantum physics. It's funny because I didn't grow in science, let's say, field. I always been passionate about it, but when we talk about quantum, people imagine like Albert Einstein or whatever, and like formula and maths and stuff. And for me, it was like, ooh, that's scary. But we can keep it very simple, thinking about what you just said is like a really known and documented experiment. They call it the observer effect. So basically that quantum mean like the most little part of something. So let's say for light, it will be the photon, or if like you talk about the electron, so there's also the nanoparticle and everything. So basically this experiment, and science mean you can repeat the same experience over and over and you get the same result. So the observer effect is, it's like when you put that little particle that can shift in one way or another. So we can say like be a wave, so which is a frequency, or a matter, which is really solid particle. So when you say like it can be everything at the same time until the observer look at it to measure it and set the intention. So unconsciously, the observers say, okay, I'm expecting to see a matter, like a particle. Then it would switch to particle. If the observer look through the microscope and expect to see wave, it will flip into wave. So that is proof. It's like kind of like, woo, that's like woo stuff, you know? No, it's really measure and they can show it and demonstrate. So that means, like you said, what is our thought? Actually, it's energy, right? It's frequency, it's brainwave we can measure in the brain. So you can really, by being conscious of that, which is science now, and you can decide which wave and frequency you want to switch into your reality. So the easiest one is for your own body. You can decide. So I'm not telling that you will finish this YouTube and go sit and like, hey, I have pain here. I will like just magically think about it and heal. That's why it's not, if you ask me, is it everyone who can heal with their thought? Yes. Is it working for everyone? There's so many factors. And we can talk about belief like just after that. But if you are just having one little doubt, your thoughts are not at the good wave and frequency to make it happen. So the observer effect is really like challenging for our mind, because it's totally shifting what we understand from our reality, and mostly what we can do about it, the potential, like the opportunity. Like some people like to talk about the quantum soup, that we are in a big field of possibility. So we just have to reach out and connect with it by our thought, and we can really, really make it happen. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for bringing up that experiment.
You can Google it. So thanks for bringing the web, because you can go to see, there's cartoon one that you can look at with the kids. So if you make your kids aware really early, that's amazing, because they don't have the doubt that adult got, with time. So they can actually really catch this really early. So yeah, just Google like the observer effect, quantum physics, and you can find a lot of stuff on that.
Yeah, thank you for that. And indeed, so whatever we live, our background, and with our thoughts, we can change the perspective and our reality, as we were saying. Thank you for that. So yeah, and another concept in quantum mechanics is entanglement. This is when two particles become entangled, the state of one particle is directly linked to the state of the other. But the nice thing is that it's regardless of the distance between them. This phenomenon, and did you know this is famously referred to as spooky action at a distance by actually Albert Einstein that you were mentioning today. So this phenomenon challenges our classical notions of locality. And suggests that deep, again, interconnectedness between particles can happen at a non-local. So refers to actions at a distance. And if we take this in the context of health, this interconnectedness implies, again, that our thoughts, emotions, as we are saying, and intentions can have a direct impact on our physical well-being. And studies have shown that positive emotions, as they call it, and beliefs can lead to improved health outcomes, while negative emotions and stress can contribute to disease, as I like to call it, or illness. And so this basically suggests that our mental and emotional state, which are governed by our thoughts, are not separate from our physical bodies, but are deeply intertwined with our whole health.
Yeah. Yeah, this is also another like kind of part of the quantum that is really different than what we know from, like, let's say traditional physics and stuff. So yeah, there's like many experience that they part of it. And it can be about photon that the phenomenon you talk about. It's like when they get together, it's kind of like they can be like, it can be photon atom cells or even human being. They did this with there's a nice experiment with twins. Or like the only requirement is like the whatever you choose to experiment on, they need to be really close, like entangled, so intimate or close for a long moment or something. So let's say the twin, the assumption is done that the twin was in the womb together, like, so they had this entanglement at this moment, but they can take them apart just in a separate, what they call Faraday cage, like, with nothing going in or out, and like they will do like a stimulus to one of the other, and the other one will like kind of the spook reaction, like, so it's really kind of easy to demonstrate again. So again, go on Google and go like a quantum entanglement phenomenon or whatever. But that means that whatever particle were like really close at some point, they kind of lose their specific state to be like one unique kind of state together, whatever you put them apart. And what it's really interesting then is like, if this is back from science, at one point, if the science is also true about the Big Bang, at some point we were all really close in the history of, well, universe or planet, or call it like humanity at some point. So we are kind of the same matter that it was at one point really all close together. So what mean that if we go further than that, we can be like that. And I can be related to you, even if you are right now in Africa and I'm in Canada. So I think it's there. I don't know really how to explain it. I'm not even sure like quantum is now able to explain everything, but I think it's something that everyone can relate if we are kind of remember that and try to be quiet, or like by meditation or something. And like some people are really better than other, because they do it more and more. And yeah.
Practice. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, well, practice, but at least we need to have this little knowledge about it, because if you never heard about that, it's not something you are curious to practice and do more. But you can do it, and like with your best friend, or like people that you're really close, some like your daughter or whatever, like, it's really something that it's there. And most of people, I think, will think about coincidence, to
Yes.
explain things like that. But what are coincidence? Like this is another debate. Like you can talk about with people are more like, Cartesian and more straight, and they don't really believe in that. But I like that quantum is like kind of meeting spirituality and kind of like explain more and more with science. Yeah.
Yeah, you made me think of in simple examples, like knowing that the phone is going to ring before it rings. It's that connection. Or well, I experienced this through my mom and my sister. My sister was studying overseas, and she would live in a college, so she had to go. And back then we didn't have cell phones. They didn't have cell phones, so they had to go to a public phone. And without organizing that we were gonna call her, she knew. She was like kind of waiting, like right there at the same time for the phone call, and it always came. So to me, that's a similarity of this topic, like knowing these things, right? Or feeling it, basically feeling, no, that intuition,
Yeah.
feeling.
That's one of the
Energy.
things, is what you just said. It's important. It's about feeling. Like most of the spirituality, we talk about this already, but we can try to explain, but like the best way is to shut down and just try to make feel people, you know, what we mean. And that's one of the things. When it happened, you feel like, oh my God, it's so funny. And like she called at the same time and everything. But when you notice it and it's over and over, you realize it's not one thing. It's like something that happened over and over. Yeah.
Yeah. And you were saying that we are all one, energy in one. Do you have any example about?
Oh yeah, I do actually. Like, and it's funny because it, you know, we can again talk about it, but the easiest way is to give image of that. So everybody think about, like, you know, Nemo, like the movie or whatever documentary of BBC, like when we saw in the ocean like a big dance of, you know, all the fish. Like, I like the word because in French it's funny, but the school of fish, the fishes, like they are all together, like there's thousands of them and they are in a big dance, you know, like they're going around. Like a lot of biologists will explain this, that they try to look bigger, like, you know, to afraid the shark or whatever. But whatever the reason, they all dance together and nobody, like, you never see a fish like, and the other one drop in the bottom of the water, you know. They dance and they kind of know nobody is waving a flag, or they turn at the same time. They are totally in harmony, you know. So they are not. And same for I was telling you also the birds, like, you know, the birds at the sunset. Yeah, again, biologists would say there's fly, they are eating. Yeah, maybe, but they are also doing a beautiful dance. And again, you don't see two birds like knocking each other and falling to the ground. Like, they are in perfect harmony and they go and they move, they switch around. And what I used to say, it's like they are not thousands of birds or they are not thousands of fish. They are like a big mass of fish. They are energy, like they are right there, like a big mass of energy all together, working all together. And what we see, it's like that. It's not even thousands of fish anymore. Like, they communicate, they are interconnected. That's exactly the word of that. So is it consciousness? Is it like people can name it the way it is, but it's a big mass of energy communicating and dancing together in one, you know? Yeah.
I love this analogy and the idea of the school of fish, because yeah, you're right. They never crash. And the flock of
I
birds.
never saw it actually. Maybe it happened and they don't film it for BBC, but I never see it myself. Like,
True, true. But it's a great analogy because we can clearly see what you're speaking about, this energy, this moving in flow. I mean, it's like hypnotizing in some way. Wow, thank you for that. I love that. I love that.
yeah.
So if I can kind of summarize all these amazing things that you just share with us, we're basically, yeah, saying that the mind-body connection is a powerful reminder of the interconnected nature of our thought, beliefs, emotions, and physical health. So by cultivating, expanding, as I like to call it, positive thoughts and changing the beliefs to positive ones, practicing, as you were saying, mindfulness and managing stress, we can actually support our overall well-being and improve our health, improve that state.
Yeah.
And now, you know, you were talking about emotions. Well, yeah, let's remember that
Yeah,
emotions.
because like the last point before maybe introducing you to talk about emotion, I talked about Joe Dispenza before, but you know what? He is one of like really known in that field. But whatever, like you take the theory of the person who's talking about, there's also always the intention, like having a really clear vision and intention of what you look, getting away of the duality. So, you know, like being fully present, that you're not just a body, you're not just a mind, you're part of the whole thing. But what really give like let's say the power to that transformation, it's the high emotion. So when you try to visualize, let's say, healing, Like, it's like a big one. I have cancer and I want to try to go there. So I need to stop fear. I need to be very present in my body. And I need to see myself free of cancer and enjoying my trip in Italian, let's say, or whatever, like my next trip coming, the sun, the friend, and what I feel inside, it's the emotion. So that's where you get in in the game with your emotion and work, because if people are not connected to high emotion, it will not happen. That's kind of the magic that you put in your body to make the vision happening. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, basically, yes, we need to know what we want, visualize that, and take that energy. When I speak about emotions, I refer as energy in motion. So it's this energy that you are talking about, and it's these waves, motion is energy in motion. But I just want to say that as such, as energy in motion, in fact, it is neutral. It has no meaning. It's not positive or negative. It's just, it is, right?
Yeah.
And this is the key. This is the key. If you take anything out of this talk, this is it. Because once we give meaning to any situation, right? The cancer, is it good or bad? Is it teaching me a lesson or what? Or I know it's a tough topic, but we can start with an easier example. But
Well, let's say my elbow. We were talking about
yeah,
my elbow,
yeah, exactly.
pain, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's also pain. But so once you have the situation, using our thoughts, we will give meaning to a situation. This is good, this is bad, this or that. And once we give meaning, we experience what we call feeling. And that's what we say is either positive or negative. I like to call it expanded when there's energy flowing, or contracted when there's less energy flowing because it's contracted. That's how I visualize it. So this is really how we can use our thoughts to help our, change our state into one desired state. In this case, we're speaking about health, so to a healthier state. So by changing the meaning of the situation, using
yeah.
your thoughts. Yeah, that's it. So
Yeah.
yeah, understanding and nurturing this connection can lead to a more balanced and fulfilling life where our mental and physical health are in harmony.
Yeah, and I would add what to recap what you just said. Like, I think to answer, can we really heal with our thought? I think there's 3 pillar in that it's always my mojo, and that's what I talk about all the time. The first is awareness. So like you say, like being conscious of the emotion that we bring in, and like, are we expanding and in flow and better energy, or we are like in anger and constricting like that and stuff. So awareness of your energy, like the second one, the pillar, it's like the energy. How do you manage this energy? You said like it's neutral, like it's happening, life is happening, nothing is bad or good or whatever, it's neutral. So of course you can have like a spike of anger or something, but let it go, like just live it, empty it, and like when it's done, like get back to balance, which is the best way. And the last one, it's and I can go further in that, how you get your energy from food and stuff, but the second pillar is really managing your energy. And the last one is basically, how do you connect? Like, I used to talk about creativity, but what is your way to connect with all of this, what we just talked about? If we are interconnected, how you plug in, like, because you're busy in your day-to-day as Luciana and me as Genevieve, and we have our work, we have our friend and circle, and we're getting busy bee, but how you just unplug and plug to this interconnection with the whole thing, so it can be by drawing, painting, meditating, going walk in the wood.
Sports.
So this part, yeah, and this part is really, really important, because it can look like I'm just journaling, I'm just whatever, but no, you're pausing, you're thinking reality life, and you're going to connect with the big thing. So these 3, like awareness, energy management, and how you connect, is to me the answer of the first question you asked. Like, can you really heal? Yes. is it working with everybody? You see like really good thing of people heal from cancer phase 4, you know? And some people are not even able to heal from a flu and they get sick all the time and they say, no, it's not working. It depends on the level you master these 3 pillars. Like for me, that's how I see it.
Thanks, Jen. And I think that's going to be our next talk. We're going to dive deep into those 3 topics. I love it. So
Yeah,
thank
I
you
love
so
it
much.
too.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us. We really love it. Do you have any other closing thoughts? And I would love it if you tell us where we can find you.
Yeah, sure. Well, I think I will just end with these 3 pillars because I can talk like forever about all of
Okay.
this. So yeah, keep it this for a next one is an amazing idea. Actually, I have my Facebook page, which I think is the best way to reach out. Is it's really simple. So is Holistica, like health and wellness. So Holistica is kind of a play of words. So there's no H in it. It's just Holistica. And I'm talking about healing a lot since it's my journey. So I help most of all the people interested in acting on their health, but mostly in pain management.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jen. So yes, I'll
Thank
add
you.
all the info as well in the description. So if you want to contact Jen, please do. She's an amazing coach. And thank you everyone for being here. And if you find this video, this chat insightful, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more content on health, wellness, and the power of the mind, of course. So stay tuned for our next video where we will dive deeper into all these fascinating topics. Thank you for watching.